Okay, okay, folks, I got myself a new story for you all today. What if Deku was the Scarecrow, the bastard son of the Todoroki family, became the master of fear? And folks, as you all know the drill, this video gets 100 likes. I will do a part 2 to it. Because, well, that shows me that y'all like this series, wants me to continue it. Okay? Okay. So, let's start this off. Let's start our story off 16 years in the past. Midnight is a new and upcoming hero that has just gotten some media attention. But, five group of people is robbing a bank. They all have pistols and their faces are covered up by clown masks. Three of the guys are up front, making sure the hostages stay quiet and stay on the ground. Are in the back, cracking the safe. But that's when Midnight comes in with her normal sachet sauntering of the hips and cracking of her whip and says, "Now, do we have some naughty boys stealing from someone else's piggy bank? Oh, very naughty." She then rips her clothes, releasing a light purple knockout gas. The robbers all fall asleep, their guns clattering to the floor. The robbers in the back rushing out and seeing Midnight. They draw their guns, but then Endeavor comes in and burns the robbers, making them drop their guns as police sirens can be heard in the distance. The cops burst in and arrest the criminals and take them away. And Endeavor and Midnight start talking. She says she's been a big fan and had a small crush on him when she was in UA. And that's when Endeavor starts to get an idea. A terrible, awful idea. If making a perfect child that can beat All Might with ice and fire isn't been working, maybe gas and fire and gas will. So they both go to a hotel room. And I'm gonna fast forward so this video don't get demonetized or age restricted. The next morning, Midnight wakes up next to Endeavor. She gets dressed, but realizes in the trash can is a condom with a hole at the top of it. Endeavor's cum slowly dripping out of it. She immediately begins to worry, thinking she might be pregnant. But she doesn't know for sure right now. She quickly gets her things and leaves before Endeavor wakes up. A few months later, she actually realizes it gets tested. She is pregnant and decides to give birth to the child, naming him Izuku. But she can't take care of him. But she doesn't give him his last name and gives him to an orphanage. It's hard for her because she was given up when she was a kid as well, but she can't afford to take care of him. So she has no choice. She doesn't have time for it, doesn't have the money for it. She needs to focus on her hero career. So we had to fast forward a couple of years when Deku is 5 or so. And Deku has just developed his quirk. It is a sort of version of Midnight's quirk, allowing him to produce any form of chemical gas from his skin as long as he knows the chemical compound, the chemical makeup of it. And He has only fire immunity. He cannot produce flames from his body like Endeavor. And since Deku's quirk relies on his knowledge of chemistry, Deku goes to the local library in town and starts reading books about chemistry and psychology. He thinks he wants to help people. So he thinks being a therapist would be a good option. Heroes save the day, yes, but not people. They save people from villains, not from themselves. So he keeps doing this for a few months. And a new kid has just joined the orphanage. His name is Harvey Dent, with one side of his whole body completely burned. But an outcast kid. His face completely white. With bright green hair and red lips. Takes a liking to Harvey. By the way, folks, remember those two. They will be important later in the video if this actually does become a series. So, keep that in mind. So, a few more years passed, and Deku looks at the news and sees a large epidemic of a new type of drug has begun to spread across Japan. According to the news, this drug is called Joker toxin. It makes the person or persons, whoever ingests it, smile widely. Their faces become a pale white, and they begin to laugh uncontrollably until they die. Deku immediately knows that Harvey and the new kid is responsible for this epidemic. But he does care, but not as much as he knows he should. This is a little odd to Deku. And, strangely enough, the Joker toxin gives him an idea for his own type of toxin, or gas. It is a yellowish hue and makes people hallucinate their greatest fears. It is completely odorless, and it spreads, and it's quite fast acting. Deku is now 16, for anyone keeping track. Deku wants to go to college to be a therapist, but he can't afford it. His orphanage is on hard times, and he doesn't really have a job. When he leaves the library, he tries to find himself a job, but no one's hiring. He has no form of work experience until he finds two men talking in an alleyway. Well, one larger, one smaller. The larger man is threatening the smaller one with a knife pointed at his neck. He shouts at the dude to give me all your money. But as soon as the smaller dude is about to give the man all his money, a hero comes in and stops them. Their fight goes on for hours, and Deku starts to get annoyed because that's his only way home. So he rolls up his sleeve and walks behind the hero and sprays him with his fear gas, but accidentally sprays the other two as well. They all begin screaming, dropping all of their belongings as they try to run, but the hero accidentally falls and breaks their leg. The hero begins to scream, but to Deku, weirdly enough, it sounds almost like music. Beautiful music. Like something he's never heard before. But when the man stops screaming, Deku gets angry. He wants to hear that beautiful song again. He needs to hear that beautiful song again. He needs to hear that man scream louder. So Deku grabs a metal pipe from the floor of the alleyway behind a dumpster and breaks the hero's other knee, causing the hero to scream in agony. The beautiful song of to Deku returns, more majestic than before, so much more beautiful. As Deku continues hitting the hero with the pipe, the song continues, and without Deku's knowledge, his fear toxin begins to spew from his skin, making the man hallucinate Deku not as a young man, but as a tall, lengthy monster that looks almost skeletal-like, covered in burlap, almost like a scarecrow. And okay, folks, I know this one is a bit shorter than the last one. I do apologize for that. But folks, thank you for watching all the way to the end. And please like, subscribe. It helps me out a lot, especially with the YouTube algorithm. And please comment down below any other ideas you would like to see for future videos. And if y'all would like to see a part 2. Because guess what? And folks, if this video gets to 100, I will do the part 2. Okay, folks? Keep that in mind when you comment down below, okay? And that's all I got for you today, folks. I will see you all sometime this month, okay? Okay, bye-bye.